Hello, this is Mrs. Boots, and now we're going to look at the properties that we can find from a quadratic function in standard form. So notice I have the ax squared plus bx plus c. Let's start by labeling our a, b, and c. Super easy. Now, a is first, b is second, c is third. Let's make sure we think about it though. A is always with x squared, b is always with the x, and C stands for constant. The constant does not have an x. Now I have a question for you. It's kind of a dilemma here. What do I do if there's nothing in front of x squared? Yes. The coefficient is a 1. Okay, it's not 0. It's a 1. There is 1 x squared at the front. Okay, so which way does it open? I determine which way it opens always by A. A is positive 1, so we're going to open, you got it, up. Super easy. Now notice in this one, we're not finding transformations or roots. We're going to find the y-intercept. You may be scratching your head, but it's super easy. Okay? Let's think for a second. The y-intercept, the y-axis goes like this. Y-intercept is a dot, a point of intersection on that axis. What is the x value for the y-axis? 0, okay? So this is when x equals 0, okay? So let's think about this. So that means I got 0 minus 6 times 0 plus 5. So that's 0 minus 0 plus 5. What is that? 5. Easy peasy. Okay? So that means my point is at 0, 5. So real quick, okay, always, my y-intercept is always going to be whatever the c value is. So my c value, I can write this as 0, c for the y-intercept because it's always going to be at the value of c. So now we get to our axis of symmetry. Here's where we're going to have to do a little bit of math again, just like with factored, because we know it splits it in half. So I'm just going to give you this equation, all right? So we have negative b divided by 2a. All we have to do is plug in the stuff from our equation, okay? So x equals negative whatever b is divided by 2 times whatever a is, okay? What's b? Negative 6. Well, that's okay. We just plug it in. Negative 6. What's a? 1. Okay? So a negative and a negative make a positive. Okay? So this becomes 6 over 2. What's 6 divided by 2? 3. Okay? So my axis of symmetry is at 3. We're always using this equation to find it. Now that helps me find half of my vertex. Remember, the first part of the vertex is always the same in the axis of symmetry. It doesn't matter which form it's in. This always matches. If it doesn't match, we did something wrong. So I should start with 3. But how do I find the second half? Oh yeah, it's just like with factored form. I have to plug it in. Okay. Yeah, let's get that calculator out, right? This is hard math. Not really, right? Some of you are laughing. So what do we have? We plug in 3 for x. I get 3 squared. Minus 6 times 3. Plus 5. All I did was plug it in. Not a big deal. We're going to hit enter. Negative 4. Okay? So my vertex is at 3, comma, negative 4. So remember, it opens up. We just found this was at 3, negative 4, right? And we know the y-intercept is over here at 5. So you kind of get an idea of what your image is going to look like. So now let's figure out our domain and range. The domain goes from the left to the right. So what are we going to have? You got it, negative infinity to positive infinity. Now let's look at our range. Range goes from what to what? bottom to top. Where is the bottom at? Look at the y value, -4. Bracket, -4. Always a bracket because it's on the curve. How high is it going? There's your arrows. We're going to infinity. So these are all the properties that we can determine from a quadratic function in standard form.